Good afternoon, everybody. So we will start the session, How to Secure Your Supply Business. My name is Kim Liebling. I'm the CEO and founder of Euroform. Normally it would be Fleming who does this presentation, but Fleming is out sick. The agenda for today is strategy. So we will shortly talk about the strategy and why we decided to develop JetAdvice Connect. Then Lars, who's also the organizer, will come in and make a demo. Total, I will talk about 30 minutes, and Lars will have about 30 minutes, something like that, and maybe a little bit less. And then I will come back and talk about private label and the business model using Connect. The JetAdvice Connect was on the drawing board for a long time, and in 2015, a large wholesaler asked us if we could do something like JetAdvice Manager, but only for supplies only. During 2016, we talked to several. I think in total it was about 5 different wholesalers, one in the US, one in Asia Pacific, and 3 in Europe. 2 of those are now our customers of JetAdvice and have their own brand using JetAdvice Connect. I'm going to come back to that a little bit later. So if you're a wholesaler, supply distributor, you are at the right place now, because this product is for designed and developed for wholesalers or large supply distributors. This is the session. Over the years, we had a lot of questions about supplies only solution. Again, I know I'm repeating myself, but this is the product we have developed for them. And most important is maybe the business model we have done. So we have changed a little bit in the business model from you normally know from MPS solutions in the market. Let's just step back a little bit, and when we talk about strategy, how do we see Euroform see the market? This is a very simplified schematic overview of the channel, the IT channel. So we have at the top, you can see MPS. PC as a service, workstation as a service, or you can have everything as a service today. The vendors is offering that very often, try to do that directly to large customers. Business segment is taking care of the channel. So resellers, dealers, whatever you call it in your country, take care of the business layer. SMB is also channel, but it's a little bit different channel. It's IT resellers. It's the numbers of employees here are between, we are targeting is 1 to 5 devices. So maybe up to, if the ratio is 12, maybe even 15 or 20 per device. So you maybe 100 employees or maybe even a little bit more. But that's kind of the SMB market that we talk about when we talk about it here. Of course, the low layer is the consumer, the SOHO market. It's taking care of retail. And yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about that as well. By standard, the wholesaler is making a contract and distributing, selling, providing stock, and making sure that whatever's in the channel needs in the channel, they can get hardware. It's really been, in many, many years, the wholesaler has been selling IT hardware. Today, what we see, the wholesalers, the distributors are moving into selling more software-like solutions. Let me just take Microsoft Office 365, and they are start finding ways to adding value around that. So they are having portals, they are selling other solutions where they do software as a service on behalf of different software vendors. If you look at the software vendors like Euroform itself, it's what we try to do when we talk to the channel and look into the channel. What we are trying is a more predictable business model. So we see how we can work with the channel, and now we also say how can we really work with the wholesalers, because they are now distributing this kind of solutions and offerings. So how can we get in there and do something as a service together with them? Some big players out there like Facebook, Google, those kind of things, they're working more directly, as you probably know. So that's a challenge here. If we look at the lower end of the channel, it's known for being, they're really person-to-person relationship. So if you go into the SMB, you are working with this guy, or this small company around the corner. You expect to get help with your PCs, your installation, your counting system, whatever. It's a trusted relationship. So they are really used to having a personal relationship. They don't really need to go out and find the best price all the time because they trust they will get the best price from their relationship. So the wholesalers are getting close to those IT resellers and make sure they have the right offer. It's not necessarily the cheapest, but they have the right product at the right time, and they can get out and install it. They know what will work in the infrastructure of those SMB customers. As a software vendor, what we try to do is to take all the things you see here and put as much automation into it. We try to say, how can we take this corporation is getting more loyal? So if you sell a printer, how can we get the loyalty into you also sell the supplies business? That's, I think, is really a key thing here for us when we develop the JetAdvice Connect. And honestly, JetAdvice Connect is all about supplies. So we want to have the loyalty between the wholesaler, the channel, being dealer reseller, and the customer. So we try to make win-win-win, basically. That's what we are seeing here. And we honestly think we can do that. Of course, if you look at the challenges, there's some white label out there. There's some contract SKUs. There's a lot of things going on in this thing we had to look into. That's just to set out the landscape. We have like Euroform is seeing it. Like I know it's really very simplified, but yeah, that's how we see it. We developed the product. It's called JetAdvice Connect. It's now been in the market and was introduced in 2016, January 1st, 2016. And as I said, we have 2 customers using JetAdvice Connect already. They use it not with the name JetAdvice Connect. They have a private label, is what we call it. So they have their own brand on it. So it's really, when we talk about the own brand, is I'm going to come back to that. So when we talk about what's the reason for developing JetAdvice Connect, when we talk to the wholesaler, what's really the thing? So it's all about having the features red to green, or having the function where you can put the device on or off. So you enable or disable the device to have the supply fulfillment. The idea is, of course, to have an increased loyalty. If you buy the device from this dealer, he's also trying to get the loyalty into that you will also buy the supplies for him. So you don't, as a customer, just shop around and use Google to get the best price. He also wants to have that income for selling the supplies for you, because if it's not working, you will call that company, that person, to try to get help. So we're trying to get this, let's just call it stickiness around it. The third is the wholesaler is now transforming some of their business from transactional into a more business predictable software as a service kind of thing. So they are trying to see how they can get some recurring business and growing that recurring business, and not having everything as a transactional. JetAdvice Connect, when you look at the full SKU management, I think there's 3 areas I can talk about today. So first of all, we all know the problem that the first devices coming out there, they are starter toner, starter ink in those devices. So they have a little bit less toner or ink in there. And yeah, you want to automate it. So we need to make a mapping between the starter toner number, into the standard product number, standard SKU you want to know for that device. I think from the number I recall, it's about 12,000 mappings we have done from starter toner, starter ink. So it's really a lot out there. All devices more or less are now born with a starter SKU. That's the first. Second is a contract supply contract toner ink. So if you're on a special contract, or you have a special bid from the vendor. I think we know about 7 different programs from different vendors. So HP, Lexmark, Oki, Brother, Samsung, whatever. They all have their different ways, flavors of doing special pricing. That's also something we look at in Connect, and how do we do that, and how do we implement it, and how do we make that work. Last but not least, we use your own SKU number. So we map whatever product number the OEM, the vendor, is using. We can map that into any SKU number you would like to use. It can be your own SKU number for the country, maybe. It can be the SKU number to replace it with a white label, or we really don't know. It's just a pure mapping. We help you do it, of course, so we take that responsibility and make sure that is actually working. That said, that's the SKU management we do. Your form is helping, having resources helping, making sure that is happening. We also do a full bidirectional integration. So we do track and trace. So when the supply is ordered at the wholesaler in your infrastructure, depending on what information you in your system can deliver, we can feed that back into JetAdvice Connect, and you can see order status. So if you have a tracking number, or it's on hold, or it's on its way, or whatever you would like to feed back to us, we can put that into JetAdvice Connect. So that's a full end-to-end integration. That's really what we're aiming for. So it's from order to delivery process. So that's really what we are looking at having in JetAdvice Connect. So we try to develop it that way. Again, I'm just going to say everything is full private label possible. So it's from the data collector when you install it, the first time your customers see anything on the website, on the portal, documentation, everything are private labels. So you would have your own colors, your own skin, your own logos, whatever you would like to have in JetAdvice Connect. Behind JetAdvice Connect is a well-known technology from JetAdvice Manager. And let me just mention, today we support more than 25,000 device models, and more than 80,000 supply are mapped into in JetAdvice Manager. All that work that have been done there is reused in JetAdvice Connect. If we do things in JetAdvice Connect, of course, JetAdvice Manager also have the benefit of using the same database. Your form staff will make all the mappings. So whatever we agreed to do with the wholesaler, that's a part of the service. That's an ongoing service. With the 2 customers we have, we do that once in a week. We look at all the different products, SKUs, toners, inks, and make sure all this is in place and everything is working. Because if we do that, the product will be supported. If it's not done, the product will not be supported. Lars will come back to that in the demo and show you why it's important. JetAdvice Connect is the product, and we looked a little out there and say, who else is doing something? And we have seen some vendors try to do stuff out there and try to do what we are doing in Connect. But I must say the one that's we looked at a lot has been Amazon, and we also know Alibaba is looking at something here, and they definitely look at it and see how they can get closer to the end user. So they are looking at how they can get out to the lowest end of the market and just do, because it's not that price sensitive. So that's why they're focusing on that. I would say what we have seen and what we can hear out there, it's been a limited success. We at Yourform think that some of the success factors here would be the loyalty to the whole channel. So the wholesaler has a loyalty to the dealer IT guy has a loyalty to his customers. The thing is a lot about loyalty here, and make it easy, save time, make sure things are just working, just keep me, help me out here. So that's really why we have developed JetAdvice Connect. Market, yeah, you recognize, of course, the triangle here. So we have developed JetAdvice Connect and targeting it the SMB channel. That's what we have developed. That's what we have done. We want to the usability, the user interface, everything has been targeting to fulfill the need from the SMB. And we have thousands of customers on now on this, and we are further enhancing and make sure that the need and take feedback and optimize it for the SMB market. That's the target market. That's where we want to be. Does it mean we don't have customers in the business layer? No, we don't. We do in Germany have a few customers, and I think it's in the 80s or maybe up to the hundreds. I can't remember the exact numbers, who are using this program right now. So they have put their devices on, and it's now using this solution for supply fulfillment. What about the consumer, the SOHO market? Yeah, it's a little bit different challenge, in all honesty, because very often they don't have a server, they don't have a PC that's turned on all the time, so they're struggling to have this data collection and make sure it's just working. So, but we're definitely working on this area, and the success right now is really in the SMB market. That's where we see the success with this JetAdvice Connect. You remember probably in one of the first slides I talked about that we want to have going from red to green, from off to on. I could also say enabled to disabled, but this is really, when you start out with a device, it's basically set as off. What does it need? What do we need to do to get it or get it until green? First of all, we need to, together with you as a wholesaler, we need to make a good integration. The better integration, the faster, more reliable it's working, the better it is for your business, because you don't need labor costs to do any interaction with the solution and until the supply is actually next to the printer. So what we do, we make sure when there come new devices from the vendors, we will get them into the portal, make sure it's configured. Any new supplies will be mapped. We'll make sure it's mapped to your SKU, whatever that SKU means. We'll make sure that is happening. If there's any contract SKUs, we need to think about how we do that. How would you like to do that? And a very important thing is starter toner. How do you like that configuration to be done? We have done it. We can tell you what we think, but very often we talk to you as a partner and agree on what is done. Last but not least, we do extensive QA, and when that is done, we are ready for the first customer to have their device enabled and ready for using a JetAdvice Connect or whatever it's going to be named. Looking at the curve, what we have seen, we have it on for a while at the customers, nothing is happening, and we didn't get any orders. We're kind of looking at the back end and saying, oh, is the integration not working? Are things not working? But think about it. If you install a new device at a customer, even if it's a starter toner, it takes some time before the toner is used. When it's used, we can get the trigger to send them a new toner. So it's kind of sporadic at the beginning. You just get one order, then you wait a little bit, then you get another order. Then you wait too long again, you get another order. But the more customers, the more dealers, the more customers you get on, the curve is just growing. It's steady, just growing. It's not a hockey stick. So it's not like from one day to the other we see the catch-up effect. No, it's just steady but growing and growing. The loyalty is there. It's just coming. The more dealers, the more customers, the more is converted into be automated, and we see a greater loyalty. It's all about converting, right? It's end up in a converting thing we want to do. Before going to the demo, I'm just going to introduce if we have someone. I think we have a few on here that's not using JetAdvice Manager. So we will create you as a wholesaler or a supply distributor. And what you can do in the portal then, is create the dealer. When you have a dealer, the dealer can, within the JetAdvice Connect portal, create as many customers as he's like. There's no restriction. He can create as many customers as he like. Now, when the customer's on, he will start getting the devices on. The devices, he can have as many devices as he like, okay? And hopefully some of those devices will go from red to green, meaning they're now on automatically supply ordering. It's all about conversion. The wholesaler need to get dealer on, the dealer need to get customer. We need to get the customer or the dealers to turn on some of those devices into automatically supply ordering. Now just get the next customer on. Why are some of them red? Why are not all of them just going in to be automatically supply orders? It's pretty simple. If they already have an MPS contract, already have a contract where they get it from a copy vendor or whatever, you still see the device, but it's maybe on another contract where they already get the supplies for free. Or for free, they pay for it, right? But there's no reason to get it from you as well. So that's why they will stay red. The good thing about it here is it's also a funnel of leads, right? So you can go out there and look at all the devices that's not on JetAdvice Connect, and you can start saying, oh, when are you going to replace that device? Can I maybe make you an assessment report? Can I maybe look at it when it could make sense from an economic point of view to change that device to something else? So that's it's all about getting conversion, right? So you need to have, as a wholesaler, as many dealers as possible. You need to have as many customers as possible in there. I've been talking now for 25 minutes, something like that. And you know what? I have a small video here. This small video can actually do it in a few minutes. So I'm gonna try to play the video and then see if you can both hear and see it. I'm gonna look at Lars to see if you have the sound.
Process completely. The JetAdvice data collector monitors the printer fleet 24/7, and new supplies are automatically ordered and delivered in due time. Today, the process of ordering printer supplies involves manual tasks and a lot of steps before the order is delivered. Well, not anymore. JetAdvice Connect automates the process from start to finish and helps you secure your printer supply business in a disruptive market. JetAdvice Connect increases loyalty between wholesalers, dealers, and customers. We turn unreliable transactions into recurring orders by keeping the business in the supply chain. Just log on to our interface and be in full control of supply levels and orders 24/7. If you want, you can brand JetAdvice Connect as your very own go-to market. Our software solution is compatible with all devices from all vendors. JetAdvice Connect supports languages from all over the world. We think we've created a win-win situation for the entire printer supply chain with JetAdvice Connect.
So I'm back here. Yes, that's impressive, right? You can just do that in a few minutes, and it takes me 25 minutes to explain the same. I like this cartoon here. Okay, enough from me for now. I will be back after Lars. He will be doing a quick demo here. So Lars, please.
Now I will show you JetAdvice Connect. So as Kim mentioned, JetAdvice Connect is powered by JetAdvice Manager. So here in the Connect version we have, of course, when it's in OEM version, of course, the skin will be the colors and design of the OEM. So I will then sign in as a dealer in JetAdvice Connect so you can see how it looks like. So now I'm signed in as a dealer in JetAdvice Connect. So a dealer, he can see all his customers. So you can see they're all listed up here. He will also be able to see pending invites. You can see that here. And he will also be able to see orders from all his customers. So supplies which has been ordered from all his customers. For a dealer to go into a customer, he can click on the name of the customer, and that will take him directly into the customer's printers and check what the status are. So you can see I can mouse over the black one here, tells me the IP address, the host name, and the serial number. I can click the hyperlink for the device itself and go in and look at the supply status. So here you can see the status of the supplies here. You can see the default supply alert threshold values. So the trigger is 10% and the bulk is 13. So that can be changed. So these are the settings that will be default decided by the OEM or the wholesaler. And then the dealer can then go in and set the preferred settings for that specific printer. And again, there is a default address. So every printer, when you create a customer, will have a default address. I will show you that when I create a new customer in here, because as supply sent out in JetAdvice Connect is done from a dealer, but sent from a wholesaler to an end customer. So that's why it's very important that every device has a default address so they know where to ship the supply. And again, here in the customer, I have the devices, I have the orders. Just show you that one here. There is actually an order already here. You can see on the toner, and this black toner here, you can see it's ordered on the 17th of September this year. Delivery, we do not have a delivery status right now because the demo version do not have an integration with an backend system, an EDI or an API. So when that integration has been done to the wholesaler, then in this delivery here, there will be a status like order sent, order received, order in process, order delivered, and then the supply replaced in the printer. So that is what is possible when we make the full integration into the wholesaler's backend system. And also locations. By default, when we create the customer, there is a default location, but it's also possible to create another location like this. And so what I could do is that I could actually say this was maybe Noma in Tokyo, Noma Aarhus, like this. So that is what display name. I will then have the company here say Noma like this. And then I have the address here, so that is like this. I have the country. Now this customer's in Denmark, so I have Denmark. I can then have the postal code like this, and then the city is called Aarhus like this. And I can also add first, last name, phone, and email if necessary for the address. Maybe here we can say reception, like this. So now I've created a second location, as you can see. What I can do is I can go into devices. I can maybe select this one here, and then I can go up here and say I would like the location for Noma Aarhus for this device. Click apply, and you can now see that the location information I just added has now been added to this printer here. I can enable or disable supply ordering. So clicking on the off button will make it go into green, and I can do it again, and then it will be disabled, and then it's off. So that can be done by the dealer. The customer itself, when he signs into the portal, he will only be able to disable the supplies. He cannot enable it himself. So let us just try to create a customer here. So let me go to the dealer's dashboard on customers. I will then invite a new customer here. So finding the name, I maybe have a reference number for my customer in my system. So I will just give it a name. That's a reference number. I have the contact name here. So maybe it's John Doe and his email address. like this, because we want to see the invite in my mailbox, and I can then select the language. And of course, we have the different languages. We have 12 different languages that we can use in JetAdvice Connect. So that is what we support right now. And of course, probably new language will be added when we have new customers in. So I can then select to send the invite. And you can see, well done, customer was successfully created. So if we go into our customer view for our dealer dashboard, you will then see we have a pending invite for the company called Tuborg here. And you can see it's pending. And here you can, the invite will be pending for a maximum of 28 days. And when it expires, you can then use the resend button and it will get 28 days extra. And you can also delete the invite. So if the customer is not signing up, or you don't want to make business with that customer, you can then just delete the pending invite. And when he then opens his email, he will not be able to finish the registration. So let us try to go to the email box to see how do we get the customer online. So as it's powered by JetAdvice, let me just take down my email here. You can see that right now it's not an OEM name, it's JetAdvice. So when I open my email here, you will see it's using the skin for JetAdvice, but this one will use the OEM skin when it's the one that the OEM will use. So I have to confirm my registration here. So you can see still the JetAdvice Connect skin. So what I have to do is, first of all, the user, he have to define himself a password here. So I will do that. And hopefully I can remember it the second time also, like this. You can also add a phone number for the user, and maybe also a cell phone number, like this. You can select the time zone again here. And you can select the language again. You have the 12 different languages. So this is the language that will present it for user when he sign in to the UI. So here we have the default delivery address. So here we are asked the first time that when the customer get the invitation, he has to make sure that he fill out the default delivery address, because that is some mandatory field. So he have to do that. So here, let's say that it's called Beer Street, like this. The country is Denmark, the postal code, like this, and then the city is Copenhagen, like this. So now we could also be attention, so that could be reception again. So now we have filled in all the fields, and some of them are required fields, the address fields are. So then we have to accept the terms and conditions. So, and then we sign up. So now the customer has successfully signed up. So taking this one here. So now I got a welcome email that you can now log on to JetAdvice Connect here. So with this username up here, which is the email address. And let me just also show you that we will also receive a setup instruction at the same time. So this is the instructions to install the data collector. It is exactly the same instruction as we have for JetAdvice Manager. And what you have to do, you have to download the data collector. It's the same data collector as for JetAdvice Manager. You have to use the account name here to get data into the portal. So what I'll do, I will download the collector, but I've already done that. I'm just been cheating a little bit to speed up the demo. So Here I have downloaded the data collector, which is exactly the same as for JetAdvice Manager. The requirements is .NET Framework 4.6 or higher, and it can be installed on both servers and on PCs. So let us run the installation. This is the install language, which come in all these versions. It will automatically default to your PC settings. So mine is placed in Denmark, so that's why it's in Danish. Let us select the English one. So it's preparing the installation. I have to click next now to start the installation. I have to accept the end user license agreement for the data collector. Click next. I can then select the path where to install the data collector. Let us just, so it could be on a B or E drive or whatever. We just use the default here, and then we click next, and then we run the installation. First, we have to allow the program to install on the PC, so you need to be an administrator to install the program. And now the installation is completed. Add a shortcut to the desktop, click finish, and then the JetAdvice Data Collector service will actually start on the PC. So I had a default name that I had a demo earlier, so that's why I forgot to remove that one. But this is what the customer will see when he when the program starts. The account name will be empty. I just paste in the name from the setup instruction email, and then I click start. So what it will do, it will start to discover right away. So, okay, what will it discover? It will actually discover the default network. So if I go into tools ranges, you can then see that the data collector added my default network. So this is the IP addresses of my printers. But right now, when I'm using the remote connection on my cell phone, I'm actually not on my company network. So I can't just show you that I'm discovering devices. But if the customer, the dealer, need to add extra network ranges, they have to do it like in JetAdvice Manager. You just type in a network range here. It could be a single IP with a plus in the end, or it could just be an IP address. It will convert it into a full range, and you can also define path of a range. So let us just say include here, click close, and you can see the new range is added. So in the first 15 minutes, JetAdvice Data Collector will run with some default settings that it will say discover, collect, discover, collect. So you can add or edit settings within the first 15 minutes, and you will see the result very fast. And then it will go into some default discovery and collection times. That is 5 hours and 3 hours. So let us just see here. We probably have not found any devices because I'm on my cell phone, so that's why we cannot see the devices in here. So let me just go back to the JetAdvice Connect here, and let me just refresh my. Let me just change to see if we can actually see the customer now. There's a small delay because we have some cache in the system, so everything is not instant. But you can see I just changed the menu, went back to customers, and now you can see that the customer Tuborg has been added to the customer dashboard or the deal dashboard, and you can actually see that the data collector is running right now. There will be status on the data collector. So here you can see it's running. Here you can see it's stopped. So here somebody has stopped the data collector. This one is online, so this one has not been reporting in 3 or 1 day, depending on where it's installed on a PC on a server. And you can see here the data collector is not been installed on these 3 customers. Orders. So let me just show you the orders again. So the supply alert order will then run on a certain time during the day. And when there is an order again, you can go into the specific customer and see the order as I explained before. So this is on the specific customer, but if you go on the dealer's dashboard here, where you have listed all his customers, you will then see that he also have a list of orders for all customers here. So here you can actually see all the supplies that he had ordered from the start of JetAdvice Connect and until now. So this was the demo. Let me just show you one setting more. In the upper right corner, we have the sign out option. We also have the default language for the displays here for the UI. So here I could change the language. Let's just check the Dutch version here. So the language the user select when he do the registration, that is the default language that he will actually have the portal in. And now you can see we have the portal in Dutch. And then I can just sign out. So this was the demo. Kip will take over. So let me just assign Kip as the presenter again. So thank you for participating in the demo.
Hey, I'm back. Okay, I only have a few slides left here. So we talked a little bit about the private label. So the whole idea when we developed it is really you should have your own label, your own design, look and feel for everything. And in all honesty, both the customers we have right now and the ones we are talking to are really developing some very, very nice skin and the very, very nice way of doing it. I'm allowed to show one of them. It's Presume. This is the portal from Presume. It's from Despec in the Scandinavian countries, Baltic as well, I think, Iceland. Their name is Presume. They're using those colors all over. The invite will have their look and feel. The data collector has that look and feel. Portal, material, everything. So it's really, I really like what I see, the whole marketing program around it. So it's a big thing, and they're doing a really, really good job on it. We need your feedback. Feel free. I know you are not customers of Connect yet. If you would like to know more about Connect, just reach out to us. You can get in contact with us directly, me or Mark, or via email, call us. You can make an email to sales@euroform.com, support@euroform.com. Just reach out to us. We'd be happy to show you more details and go into the details about it. We have a full slide deck about the JetAdvice Connect. In the future, you will see here our customers. Hopefully, they will put up here on the ideas feedback forum. They will put up ideas. We have that for the other product as well. So just make sure that you can follow it here and see what we are doing. In fact, but we're happy to do that. It's you can see it's userreport.com where we put it. So it's really public. The last thing I have is really the business model. Most of you know our JetAdvice Manager. It's pay per device, so it's prepaid quarterly. We have a lot of customers doing that. It's really very predictable, very good. But when you talk about business, other business model, we have announced here in this eSUMMIT our JetAdvice Connect, and it's a pay per supply. We also call it a DSO, generated supply order. It's a yearly contract, so we enter into a yearly contract with the wholesalers, and very often it's longer than a year, just to split the investment cost into 2 more years to get this up and running. Also the marketing program, and there's a lot of things that need to be done here. So the JetAdvice Connect is pay per supply. We enter into yearly contract. Very simple. Last but not least, we introduce here at the summit the premium. It's pay per report, so you can pay as you go. Basically, you can put in 50 credits, and then you can start getting the reports, or you can make a subscription as well. We are looking at a yearly subscription right now with a partner from the eSUMMIT. They want to have a yearly subscription already starting January 1st. So that's very, very positive. We already have that in place. The question we got was also from Connect customers: if we have a Connect agreement with Euroform, can we also use the full manager? software. No, you need to enter an agreement with the manager if you want to use the manager as a full. You will have access to it as a wholesaler. You can see everything, but you cannot use it for a full MPS contract. You need to have a contract on that. You can then, if you're a Connect customer, a dealer, your login will be working also on Premium, so you can log in and use the Premium report if you're a Connect customer. So the product are really all tied together, and the back end is JetAdvice Manager. So everything goes into the JetAdvice Manager. Okay, thank you for your time. So the slides will be sent to everybody. And sorry, I forgot to say that, but we'll send out the slides as PDF. But what we also will be doing is we'll send out a survey after the presentation here to all of you. And I really hope that you will give me some really good ratings here, right? So no, I'm just joking here. Just give your feedback is really appreciated. And of course, you will have the slide deck as well. Okay. It don't seem like we have any more questions. Sorry for the hiccups. I hope you got the most of it. And so thank you again for your time. Really appreciate it. Have a good day, and I'm sure we'll see you soon again. Thank you. Bye bye.